Hello everyone, and welcome back to All the Mods 6, and let's just check how much unobtainium we have, and we have a little bit. We have just a little bit, and I think it'll be enough to start doing stuff with it, right? So we need to put it into our system, and we have this guy up here that's also doing the vibranium, and that should mean that all of this unobtainium should go in here, and process, and turn into, I believe it's just nuggets, right? Unobtainium nuggets, let's double check. Beeswax? Or it might be a low percentage, because I don't see any at the moment. I mean, I guess we're lucky that we have a lot, but I wonder, what's the percentage? Let's have a look. It's a 2% chance. So 4 unobtainium honeycomb blocks has a 2% chance of getting you the unobtainium nuggets. Okay. But you get 9, right? You get 9, so you get an ingot every time that it does work. Okay. I guess we'll have to let that guy run for a bit and check in on him later. Now, for this episode, I'm not currently sure what I'm going to do for it, but I assume after this short break, that will probably be a split second for you guys, I will have a slight idea of what I'm going to do. Ooh, look what I just found out. So, if you put the honeycomb blocks in with the bee, you then get an 80% chance to get 1 nugget. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I like the look of this. What this means is if we set up a bunch of block places, right, and they all place these down, then every time the bee flies past, right, every time it goes and collects its honeycomb and brings it back, it will have an 80% chance to get us a nugget. Which, I mean, you might be thinking, well, it's only 1 nugget for 1 honeycomb block. This is 2%. 2%. I actually really want to try that out. Now, we are getting some. Like, I don't think we'd need to do this. I think if we left it, I'm sure it would be enough and would get enough. In fact, these stuff, we can leave those in because we still have 4,000 more honeycomb blocks. But I really like the idea of trying to make a contraption that makes use of that mutate ability. I'm also curious, is this the same for any of these other ones? It is. Okay. So if we want more of every single one of these things, because I assume it's the same percentage, yeah. Yeah, Now, if we got lucky, we could get this like every single time and make it an insane profit compared to the other method. But it's 2%. Like, that's ridiculous. And if you were to look at the other method, you could say the same thing of, well, if we get extremely unlucky, we might just get no vibranium nuggets. But the percentage is ridiculous. I think it's worth doing. And while we're on the topic, I did want to make a completely new area for all the modium bee, the vibranium bee, and the unobtainium bee. So what we could do in theory is have them all in a line and have all the stuff. Oh, dude, I reckon we should do it. I reckon we should do it. The problem that I see is that we're gonna have to make a new apiary, a tier 4 apiary. I believe we have the recipe for it, but let's see what it requires. So it's gonna use 1,000. Oh my god, it's going to use 2,000 of our unobtainium honeycomb blocks. Do I want it to do that? I kind of don't. Then we're going to need some nether stars, some grass, and some pine logs. Ooh, that's a little bit rough, isn't it? Let me think about it. Alright, I've looked through these bees, and the lowest you can really get is 1,200 ticks. Now, you can get lower. You can get 600 ticks from a kitten bee, which also drops honeycomb, so in theory it should work. But I don't know how to get it. It says it spawns in the world. Not a clue how you'd come across it. So we're probably just going to have to go for a different bee, right? The glowing bee we have, this also has the 1,200 ticks in the hive, which means it's not going to stay in there as long as, for example, where's the unobtainium bee? This guy stays in for, what, 3 or 4 times that length? Ridiculous. So we're probably better off putting the glowing bee in here. In fact, we have a few. We could, in theory, just dump a bunch of glowing bees in here and keep the rest of these out for the moment, just to get all those honeycombs made. I might actually do that. Let's start exporting these. So the redstone, all of these, we have a gold one in there. I sort of want to leave these other ones in here. What if I go ahead and stop some of these honeycombs from being processed? Like the vibranium and the old modium. I don't want them processed. As for this stuff, I'm just gonna take them out for now. Okay. I'm trying to follow my own plan that I have in my mind and like keep up with it. The other question is, should I, for this example, have all of these taken out? Like, even all the modiums and stuff? Because we're just going to be spamming glowing bees. I think we should. I'm going to need more bee jars. So here we are. We do not have any. Hopefully we can craft some. We can. We only needed 3. I think I grabbed 3, but it says that I grabbed 2. Of course. There's the third. Okay. 3 in here. Let's... Ooh. Bee export unsuccessful. I think some of them aren't in the thing yet. Maybe? No. I honestly, I'm not sure. Oh, do I have to lock them in? Then I can take them. There we go. That's probably to stop like some sort of duping glitch, I imagine. So here we go. All of our bees have been taken out, put in our system. They're all in here somewhere. There they are. They're just hiding around. I'm going to grab out the glowing bees, not the gold bee. They look very similar though. Look at that. Glowing bee. Grab all of these guys out and chuck them in, right? It's that simple. What we might also want to do is, where's our glowstone? Let's craft a glowstone and maybe place it in a better spot, because we do have glowstone in here currently, but it's kind of just like, I don't know, not in a good spot, I'd say. So, oh god, why did I do that? Are these slabs? They're not slabs. There we go. I'm thinking I place it right in the middle. Now, I could place it closer. I just don't know if that's the play. I don't know if closer would be a bit weird. Sometimes the bees struggle to get where they're trying to go. But now we're just going to import all of these. Ooh. That is my bad. You can only have one type of bee in at a time. I wonder as well what happens if I just leave these bees all out. Right? They're going to go and collect the pollen if they can. Oh, in fact, yeah, having multiple bees is a problem anyway. Because look at this. Only a few of them can get on at a time. Oh, my plan foiled in front of my very eyes. Alright, we've actually got a few other bees that we can mess around with. I'm going to pick up this wool, if it lets me. It doesn't really want to. We're going to have an ender bee, and we're also going to have the beeper. So that's like the creeper bee. I'm going to break this netherite too. Hopefully it doesn't make too much of a mess. Of course it will. Can't help itself. Boom. Fill that up. Place back this and this. So the beeper bee and the ender bee also... Oh, bee import was unsuccessful. Really? What block did I break that it isn't happy about? Because it's as if the structure hasn't been made. I'm very confused, because if the structure wasn't made, normally it tells you. It says the structure isn't working. I'm guessing that the block of gunpowder doesn't work as a building block. So I imagine I'm going to have to press this, and then it's going to work. Beeper import. Okay, so you're probably just telling me that the beeper can't be in here for some reason. Really? Beeper. Here we go. I don't know. I'm not sure why. I imagine maybe because it's a zombie mob. Like it's a monster mob. Can I put the ender bee in? I can. Okay. Yeah. A little bit strange. Alright, well I guess we're leaving that stuff. We probably honestly can put in those other bees. I thought we were going to be able to spam in the glowstone bees. So that whole operation is pretty much done. Let me grab out these bees, the unobtainium, the vibranium, and the old modium. And we'll just put them back in. All this stuff's still here. Yeah, that should be fine. Boom, import, import, import. Okay, yeah. I guess my job here is done. That's just a waiting game now, so we'll leave that be for a little while. Alright, so we actually do have enough unobtainium now to make some of this stuff, to make an entangled block and an entangled binder. And I guess we'll see how they work. Now, I was told that these could be used to help with, like, a few of our different things. Mainly in All the Mod Sky, I think it was. I had some, like, problem where I needed to pipe things somewhere, but I couldn't easily get the pipes to go, I guess, where they needed to be, right? Now, you could use it like an ender tank or something, but it still gets a bit messy. So, apparently, with these blocks, we're able to do something. Now, I think I needed 2 ender chests, right? One for this guy, which uses 4 unobtainium ingots and some ender pearls, and then one for the binder. Yeah, alright. So we have the binder now. We have the entangled block. How should we test this? Honestly, not too sure. So, entangled block can be bound to other blocks. Ooh, I've also found this guy is apparently not working. I assume I need to... Output at the top order is on. Is this guy inputting from the bottom? Gases? Yep. And he should be on dumping. Right? Okay, there we go. I'm surprised that I didn't configure that. Because I noticed our sulfuric acid has ran out. So hopefully that catches up again. Maybe. Alright, so check out this. What I've gone ahead and done is I shift right click the apiary block over there. And then I right clicked on this guy. And now the apiary block's spinning around in there. I can't appear to interact with it by right clicking or anything. But my guess is that I can interact with whatever block I bind to this with a pipe. Right? I'm still not yet sure how that would benefit me. But I've got to figure that out. Alright, I have an interesting idea that I want to try out. So what happens if I were to link this seed drain to this block here? You can see it's floating around inside. It appears to have connected, or, you know, it's bound. What if I then go and select, say, all the modium? All the modium's at the bottom, so it should be the next one to come out. Let me double check that everything... Yep, it should be good. If I right-click this, will it pour out all the modium? Wait, let me put on a cast. How cool is that? That is actually really neat. So essentially, you can have your smeltery, or like, it's more so the concept. You can have your machinery, your system, somewhere else, have it do all of this stuff, and then have all the inputs and outputs just be like in your base, right? And not have the massive machine here in your base, or even not even need pipes to lead to this. That is really cool. And there we go. We have our all the modium ingot. Ooh, the possibilities with this. I'm struggling to think about it because most of my stuff's set up, right? It's set up with for instance, interfaces and network receivers. I wonder, do you think I can use this block? So let's pick this up. Do you reckon I can connect it to the ME network? Oh, I've got a very interesting idea. Let's see. So inside this guy is nothing. I think it's just on the other side it's bound to a block. What happens if I break this? Everything should stop working. You can see this, it's offline. It turned off. We should see, I don't really know how else we can check. Because we don't, I guess an easy way to look is here. Our crafters are offline. They don't have any power in them. They're not working. If I place an entangled block right here, and I fly over to my controller, which I believe I can access from the outside? No. From the inside? Yes, here it is. I'm going to shift right click on the controller. Block is selected. This could be really interesting if this works. And then right click on here. And it's now connected. The cables don't appear to be connecting on. Let's see. What if we replace the cable? I believe it's in my backpack, right? Yep, here we go. Oh, no way. There is actually no way. So what's this? This is an external storage. I just want to make sure all the configs are the same. That should be fine. Let's break it. I'm going to have to go under to place it on again. Oh, wow. Okay. Make sure everything's on blacklist. I don't know if we had it on insert or extract. I think we want it to be on extract only. Items, blacklist. That should be fine. It's connected. The cable connected. But as you can see, the crafter and all that stuff have not yet turned back on. I'm very confused about this. Because it looks like it wants to work. I mean, the cables are connecting now, whereas they weren't connecting when I first placed it down. It's definitely not working. I think it's definitely not working. What can we request? What does this guy do? Diamond dust. Let's give it a shot. Does it even show up? No. Okay. I'm still trying to think, like, is there a trick? Something that we can use to get this guy to power up and work? It shows up with the power, 32,000 FE. It appears as if it does work. Okay, you know what? My next attempt will be, what if I connect it to one of the other receivers, right? So all we have to do is find a different receiver that we have, like this one over here. Network receiver. I'm going to shift right click to select it. And what if I then bind it here? So now it's connected. The cables still appear to be connected, but sadly, they have not yet jump-started again, right? I suppose I could have done a cable like this the entire time. No, it doesn't. It does not want to work. Damn. Okay. Now, I think it also can be used as, say, like, oh, what am I actually trying to say? As an ender tank, right? Now, keep in mind that this block by itself costs this much stuff. It costs an ender chest, it costs all that. It doesn't cost any blaze or anything that a normal, I guess, ender chest costs. The other thing that it has going for it is that it doesn't actually need to be, it doesn't need to have an input and an output. You can just have the one block wherever it needs to be. So, for example, we have this massive cable here that we could probably do without, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it, right? Some of these holes I'm going to have to patch up. And we're just going to have it be on this side, and I think we can get away with having it pretty close. I'm just wondering how close I want it and where I want it. I think this works. We're going to have this here. We're going to, once again, break all of these. Of course, we're breaking the floor as we go. Can't up ourselves. Then I'm going to shift right-click this block, which is where we're getting our essence from, right? I'm going to come over here. Now, how can I check to see how much essence we have? We can sort of see, look in the top left. Did it actually just get essence? How's it getting essence? It shouldn't be getting essence. Maybe this makes essence for itself? Okay, so this is the Conatus fluid. I'm pretty sure that's what we use. We have 9,600. I'm going to let this progress and see how much goes down. I imagine 200 millibuckets. That's what it suggests here. Yep, sure enough, it's gone down 200 millibuckets. So, in theory, if I right-click now on this block, it is now linked to that machine over there. And then all I should, in theory, have to do is grab a fluid pipe, grab my wrench, place the fluid pipe here, and extract there. Let's now double-check and see what we're at. Now it's full. How cool is that? So we don't even have any exporting pipe over here. So we could completely encase this, and yet it's linked and exporting. That is really neat. I might leave that one there, and then we might make some more. Yeah, we could like redo our whole system. Because, Now, yeah, the ender tank works. The ender tank works, right? The problem you have with an ender tank, though, is you need to have it on both sides. I guess for most cases that doesn't really matter, because normally the ender tank is like you know, in the nether, for instance, and it doesn't matter that there's an ender tank and cables in the nether because I never go there. I don't have to look at it. Whereas over here, you know, you have to have the pipe on the output. I wonder what other little tricks you could do with it. Ooh, do you know what I just found out? I was looking at some of the stuff here, and I noticed that the unobtainium cleaver was only 100 extra hit points, and then the vibranium cleaver was even lower. So I was like, okay, they must have another perk to them. And I believe it's the fact that, like, look, the unobtainium is lightweight, whereas all the modium is heavy. So in theory, if we alloy these together, they should cancel each other out, right? And be holdable? Maybe. I mean, in real life, that wouldn't really matter, right? Like, if you add something that's lightweight to something that's heavy, it doesn't make the heavy thing any less heavy. So in real life, it shouldn't work. But I imagine it would work in the game. I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, very interesting. There's also these other perks. Not a clue what they do. Beheading, I mean, I know what beheading does, but insatiable? Lacerating, I assume that, like, makes them bleed or something. And then maintained, I imagine, I don't know, takes less damage or something. Very interesting. Now the problem is with these, with the cleavers and whatnot, unobtainium. In order to smelt unobtainium and get the actual molten liquid, you require 4,000 degrees Celsius melting temperature for every single one here. Which means you need soul lava. Soul lava, I believe you can find it in possibly the other. Otherwise, otherwise, you need liquid soul and molten blaze. With molten blaze as a fuel or soul lava as a fuel, and the molten blaze. Where are we? How am I gonna find this? How am I gonna find it? Molten blaze you get from actually smelting up a blaze. Yeah. So it's doable. It's just a little bit tricky, as you can tell. Now I'm actually processing some unobtainium, and it is extremely rare. Like the 2%, they're not lying. What I was going to do is hook up the block here, just so that we could show off that, like, in fact, what we could do is we don't even have to have it connect here. We could have these cables gone, have the storage connect to an ender chest somewhere. So even like over here, we could just have the entangled block here piping into the ender chest, and that should work. Yeah. Now the problem is my base is it's not too bad in terms of like cables in the way, right? Like the only thing that's really in the way in our whole base is this thing here, right? The waystone. Everything else we have paths that lead all the way to each other. This was the only thing I could really find that's like in the way, like something that I would want to move out of the way. Otherwise, the paths sort of just they go around. It works. I do think that there's I don't know. It's sort of just a better ender tank or a better ender chest. So it's not insane, but it's still pretty good. All right, here we go. We actually got some of the ingots now, so we can at least set up this thing. That I want to set it up. So I'm going to shift right click on the apiary storage, and that will have it selected. Then what we should be able to do is just pick up these. Oh, I did not want to break that block, so I guess we'll put it. The problem is it's probably empty now, right? I think that's fine. Now I believe what I could do, and we'll test a few things. I'm going to place it here. We're going to bind it to it, so now it's connected. I assume we're able to connect an importer here and have it be on blacklist, I guess. And that should get all of the stuff from the storage into there. And I don't know if we can test this. I don't know if we can just put any old block in there. Let's see if I can put blocks back into this storage. No. Okay. Let me break the importer. And we'll wait until our bees process something so that I can actually check. Alright, here we go. We have ender honeycomb. So in theory, I connect this and the ender honeycomb. Look at that. It's that simple. So that works right there. I could leave that there and I guess we can. I guess it's not really in the way. It's out of the way. And that's just highlighting the advantage of not needing an input, right? So like if this was actually part of my base, like if I wanted to have more stuff over here, which honestly, I might actually now build a path. Do you reckon I should build a path? Like have this path lead over to the dragon? Just to make use of it. Act like it was a revolutionary thing that allowed paths to be built. You know what? We're probably going to keep making them. So I want to keep processing these You know what we're going to do? We are going to... we're in a big pickle here. What I want to do is make the apiary now. I want to do it. I don't mind that it's going to use all of our honeycomb blocks. I don't really mind. The problem is now the nether stars, right? We need 66 of them. I've put the wither bee back in here so that he can start processing again. There he is up there, in fact. The problem is, though, even with those nether star honeycombs, or I don't know what we're going to be looking for, the wither honeycombs, is that what they're called? Wither honeycomb blocks. We have a 1% chance of getting... You get 9 of them, but it's a 1% chance. It's pretty rough. You can also turn it into coal if that's what you're after, I guess. Wither bee spawn egg. Okay, so you can make a lot of these just by putting the honeycomb back into the same bee. Alright, do you know what I just thought of? So we're going to make another one. And what I'm imagining is, can we essentially have all of our crafters be in the same place, right? For the most part. Like, imagine this crafter, for instance. This crafter is what? Making buckets of water and buckets of lava from this guy, from this fluid encapsulator. In theory, I could have the fluid encapsulator here, have the crafter be somewhere else, and connect the crafter to the entangled block, which is linked to the fluid encapsulator. Let me double check on how this guy works. So at the moment, we just have an importer that takes stuff out of him and puts it back into the system, and we have a crafter. And that's pretty much it, right? And then we just have it configured to input and output. Input on the left, output at the back. I'm going to give this a shot. So I want to pick this up, the crafter. I want to pick up the... Well, I guess the importer could stay there in theory, but we can test without it too. So let's just connect this, I don't know, at the back. I'll probably put this back where it was, but this is more just to test and see how it works. So the crafter's there, it's turned on. It's connected to an entangled block, which it should say entangled block here. We're going to grab this guy to the wand, so shift right click to bind it. We're going to fly back around here, right click this guy. So now it's linked up. It still just says entangled block. I want to put the water and the lava there. What I might actually do is, I don't know if the directions matter, but this is how it was set up last time. Standing here, right click there. And then the back of it was this part here, right? So in theory, does this work? Bucket. Let's see. I want to craft a bucket of water. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's test it with lava then. I want to craft a bucket of lava. That works. It works phenomenally well. How cool is that? I could just imagine a row of these all like facing upright with all these different entangled blocks with all the machines. And then, oh, that is actually so cool. Then if you need to change a recipe on your item, you just go and you find the item here and you change the recipe. Like you don't have to, I don't have to go, oh, where's the fluid encapsulator? Oh, here it is, and do that. That is awesome. I am, yeah, okay. We're learning a lot. We're learning a lot. Now, I don't know exactly if we'll use it too much in this playthrough, because we've sort of set most of our things up, right? Now, if we were able to change the network transmitters, I might have done something like that. Made it a little bit weirder with that. What else could we do? We could do the energizing orb. Could we? Ooh. Hold. I don't know if we could. How would this work? I think in order to hook this up, like to clean this whole system up. Oh, you know what? I really want to try it now. I want to try to get that working. All right, what we'll do is we'll move this back because I don't really need to have this guy here. That was just a proof of concept, right? So we'll come back over here. We'll hook the crafter back up. We'll put in the buckets, and that guy should already be working again. So that's fine. As for this guy at the top, this energizing orb, I really want to make this not look as horrible as it does. So I wonder. We'll place it here for now. We're going to shift right click on the energizing orb, because obviously we want to make sure every part works. So there we go. This guy's hooked up. Now, how could we get this to work? I think what could happen is we have the comparator still existing, maybe even where this crafter is so that it doesn't go into the wall, and have it go to a wireless redstone transmitter, and then have it go to a receiver, right? That should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. I'm just trying to think as well. With the tiny redstone, does tiny redstone have some sort of wireless capability? There's a wrench to remove bits, a bridge, form a redstone circuit, color selectors, wooden buttons. No, I don't think there's any sort of like wireless in this mod. You know what we do need, and like we constantly need, that I just sort of like I struggle to get the way we've been making those crystallized ambers is we still have a little bit of magma left in here, and that's how we've been crafting it. The stuff that we need for this, not that stuff. This thing. The magma, however, is pretty tricky to get. You got to get magma blocks or magma creams. We don't have infinite of that. We do, however, have infinite honey. We just haven't set it up. How about I set this up? Well, you still do need a magma block. You need a magma block. You need honey, so that's the extra thing. Alrighty, so I've redone this system. I've cleaned it up a bit. We've placed an advanced black hole tank here, and I'm going to entangle it with the entangler over here. I just grabbed this guy where the energizing orb one was. It's the same one. So this guy's here now. So we essentially have the fluid brought over here. We could have done that a few ways. In fact, I'm still not certain if this is even worth doing. In fact, I don't think it is. I think we can keep our entangled block, because obviously we don't have a lot of them at the moment. And what we can do instead is break this, break the pipe, and have this system be at the back. So potentially placed here with the pipe still hooked up like this, wrenched on so that the fluid actually goes in here, and then get an external storage. External storage, there we go. Link this up here, right click, change it to be fluids, and have this guy be on extract only. And that should be good. That should be fine. That should work. Is this guy processing? Yeah, okay. So yeah, that should be fine. Now we should have honey in our system, and we should be able to check here. We now have, yep, honey in our system. Beautiful. What this means now is that I should be able to place our solidification chamber, say, here. I should be able to... Well, honestly, why don't we have it running on the back? You know, it's fine. It's fine. Let's grab a crafter. Boom. We'll get a gold one. I like the gold ones. They're not too fast, and they're not too slow. So they're a nice little middle ground. I want to be friendly to the server and set a good example. So this guy can go here. We can connect the cable on top. That should be fine. Let's also get an importer. So one of these guys. The importer will sit on top there. That should be fine. Also going to need power, which I assume we're running under the ground. Am I right in thinking that? I am. So let's break this, break this. Cables I have on me. Beautiful. There and there. So now the power's hooked up. That's all fine. Let's select the slab again. Clean that up. Ooh, you can see underneath. That does look bad, but nothing we can really do about it, I think. Okay. So power's hooked up. Now we just need to add the crafting recipe, which should actually be pretty simple. It should cover everything. So click this, and click this. There we go. Create. And as you can see, it keeps in the honey, because if we change this to be on fluids, you can see the honey's in there. Beautiful. So now this guy, we can run over, hook up to this. And now, when I ask for this guy, apart from the bone blocks, which apparently we don't have a recipe for, can I make a stack of them? The answer is yes. There we go. Okay, beautiful. I should be able to auto-craft everything, except for the honey. Missing honey. No, you're not. You're not missing honey. Nope, you've got honey. That's a lie. Well, why is it saying I don't have a honey? Missing honey. It's connected to the network. Okay. Here's the problem. What is going on here? What is actually going on here? How is this cable existing when it's not even connected to anything? Did I do this? It's not connected. What? Yeah. What? Well, that doesn't look nice. You know what I can do? Oh, it's connected underneath. Yeah, okay. So it should work. Yeah. Everything should be fine. It's connected under here, and then it's connected through here. Yeah, the recipe showed up. Everything works. It was just... That was very confusing to look at. Polished limestone we can place back here. That should be fine. Place this on the side of that. Okay. So the problem is the honey. But it's not the honey, because we have the honey. So what's the problem? I'm mind blown. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to alter this recipe and have it so that it does not have the fluid. The fluid part of it is not going to take place. The reason for that being, what we're going to do is just pump honey into it a different way. Which is probably just going to be with an exporter. I'm going to have to grab a bucket of honey, which I accidentally grabbed out anyway, so that takes care of that problem. Honey there, cable there. I imagine maybe it can't, I don't know, maybe the crafter just can't put honey in, very confusing. Turn this to be fluids, actually. There we go. Is that working? It's not. Because for some reason, we don't have honey, but, oh no, okay, I take that back. It decided to work. Okay, yeah, sure. Now, how do I put this honey back away? I think I've got to go over here. Honey away. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Everything should be working now. Oh, we're flying around like crazy. Okay, honey's working. So now can I craft this? It's a bit of a messy episode. To cover again what we're doing. We're messing around with the entangled blocks because they're pretty cool. we're trying to see how we can use it to like clean up a system like this. Now, I'm sure you already could make this system a lot cleaner. But I just want to use the entangled block. The other thing we're doing is we have these guys processing in the background. So we have wither blocks going in, or wither honeycomb blocks, in hopes that we get a bunch of nether stars, which I don't think we've even gotten any yet. We're also... Well, that's pretty much it, because we have enough honeycombs, so we're just waiting on nether stars. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Okay, so it should have made it. It's placed the fire charge, the magma block, and the redstone dust in here, and yet we're getting nothing. Does it have to be in the right order? I don't think it does. The honey's in there. What is actually going on here? Honey? Cyclic honey. Is that the problem? This is not cyclic honey? That's the problem, isn't it? I bet you that's the problem. It just isn't the right honey. It's not cyclic honey. I don't know how that matters, but I bet you that's it. Cyclic honey, how do you get it? You have to melt honey blocks. Okay. Yeah. Yep, there we go. We have it, ladies and gentlemen. It was tricking us. So let's keep this importer here. We are going to have to empty this, which I imagine I can do just by picking it up and placing it back down. Yep, there we go, that works. We are going to have to fix this recipe in a little bit. We have the melting chamber. The melting chamber is going to go... Alright, let's fix the system. Let's fix it. Break that, break this. The melting chamber is going to go right here. And then what we're going to have is the cables run along the back here, which should work fine. There shouldn't be a problem with that. What's this got? Just an importer? No configuration? Importer sink. Okay. Place this here. Importer is going to go there. And here. And we're going to need another one anyway. But we're going to grab a sink. Have that guy hooked up. Grab another importer. Beautiful. This guy's going to have a sink in him. These guys should be fine. What we'll end up doing is placing the crafters on top, maybe, if that's easy to do. This have perhaps a bit of dirt. Can I grab the dirt? There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Crafter is going to be placed like this. We're going to need another crafter for the other guy, but that should be fine. Do we need another crafter? We might be able to just, you know, we'll set up the crafter, it's fine. Crafter. What I was going to do is possibly just have the honey constantly being processed, but I figure that's probably a bad idea, because if we run out, that'll be annoying. So we'll just do a crafter and a crafter. There we go. We can clean up this now. That works fine. Polished limestone back. Cables connecting it. Beautiful. They're all hooked up. That should be pretty much it. It's such a mess. Okay. Place this guy back in here. Click this, click this, click this. Create the pattern. Beautiful. We can switch this back to items as well. Then what we need to do is actually make this honey, which is going to be made probably with the honey bottles. I'm guessing. What's the best option? 250. Honestly, probably the honey blocks. So yeah, let's just do the honey blocks. We're not allowed to create this recipe. As to why? The entire world is unaware. Why can I not... What just happened? What? Input to... No. What are you doing? What is actually happening here? It's not input to honey. It makes to honey. It's gone crazy. It's lost its mind. Alright, there we go. I dragged it in. I set it to fluid mode, and I dragged in the honey. Then I left-clicked on it, changed it to be this amount. So we have 0.5 buckets of honey for 2 honey bottles. You know, we'll do the actual recipe now. For some reason, it keeps trying to put it as an input, and it doesn't have an output, so it just doesn't work, right? So you've got to manually put in the output, which in this case is 2 buckets, save, create the recipe, bada bing, bada boom. Let's fly back over here. This guy is getting the honey pattern. This guy's getting the crystallized amber pattern. This guy is getting the extract. Oh, he's still got it. Wow. Interesting. He still has that. I'm just going to change this to be the back B output. There we go. Okay. Now, can we craft it? It says we can. We should see the honey made. All we're going to have to do is change this guy to be a fluid type of extract. But that should still work. It should extract that fluid, I assume. And it should go into the storage that doesn't exist. So that's part of the problem. How can we do this then? Can I bucket this? Can I... No? Okay. What we're going to have to do is get a... No, this is very tricky. We're going to have to get this tank, pipe out into this tank, right? Just so that we can get a bucket of the cyclic honey. And then we can set filters with it. So we have this here. Get the bucket. Bucket of cyclic honey. Beautiful. Then what we can do is grab a external storage. Have this guy. We can... Where do we want to put this? We can place the tank here, for example. Place the external storage. Right-click. Have it be set on whitelist so that it puts nothing else in. Then change it to fluids. Then change it to honey. Then what we should be able to do is... Well, for one, that should just work. That should make our thing, but I have a hunch that it's not going to for some reason. But this should work now. Like, I don't know why it wouldn't. Oh, you know what? It worked. I'm pretty sure it worked. Crystallized. It was a bit weird, but I think it worked. So let's try this again. Craft one. It's going to put the stuff in. Oh, no, it just took the honey straight out and made it. Okay, let's try again then. Let's try one last time so that it has to make the honey, because that's the part that wasn't really working. So craft it. Let's see. It should put this stuff in. Yeah, it's putting the 2 honey blocks. They're getting processed. Then it will turn into honey. The honey should, in theory... Yep, it's working. It goes into here for like probably a split second, and then it goes into here. I believe that's what's happening. Honey, honey. No honey. Honey? Huh. Oh, there we go. There we go. It was in limbo for a bit, but it's made its way here. It works. Beautiful. Okay. Let's get back to business. Oh, these episodes have been getting messier and messier, I think. Actually, no, I think the last 2 were actually pretty... They made sense. They were tame. You actually get 4 redstone receivers. Okay, well, we only need 1, so I guess we'll keep those extras. Which is strange as well, because this is like the cheap recipe. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we should be good now. So what I want to do is pretty much... Oh, we struggled there. I'm going to grab this guy, shift right click to entangle it. Then we're going to come down here, clear a little bit of land, place this guy, and right click. So there we go. Oh, maybe that's why we like people are showing up. Okay. So it's linked with the energizing orb. Over here, I've got to think about what we wanted to do again. You know what we might be able to do? Can we just connect a comparator directly to it? That might work. And then I'm going to place the crafter, hopefully connecting a little bit better. See if we can pick this up. Place that there. Connect the cable that we don't have on us anymore. Boom. Connect this guy here. So that's linked up. Let's put our recipes back in. So there we go. So the comparator. And then this might just work. We might not even need the extra stuff we have. Now, the reason I have it set up like this with a repeater is because it wasn't really working. Have I just been made small again? Okay. Redstone transmitter. Redstone. I think this works. I think I can just place this here. Is this still set to pulse? No. We want this to be, where is it? Redstone pulse inserts next set. Transmitter. We're going to need a GPS. GPS. So make one of these, which is going to require some carbon paper, which is some charcoal and paper. Easy enough. Then we use blue dye and iron nuggets, and we get 4 of these guys. Then what we do is, I think we probably right-click this guy. Yep, it's been saved. Beautiful. Place this guy back in here. We can actually render the preview, and I assume if we stand in a certain way, we'll be able to see like a laser connect. That's what it used to be. Oh yeah, you know what? That was probably just the that overlay we just saw before. Okay, so this is hooked up. Shall we give it a shot? I don't know if it'll work. In fact, I wonder. We could probably as well grab the importer, which is, how's this guy set up? He's just a normal importer. Break this, break that, get the cobble, close that up, and just set up this with another one of these cables. Boom. Boom. Do you think this will work? I'm hopeful. I am definitely hopeful, but I'm also not sure if the comparator part is going to work. I guess we'll see what happens. So, for starters, let's just craft, what's something easy to craft? Energized steel. I would like to craft an energized steel. Oh, you can actually see it render. That is awesome. Now, the problem is, this guy didn't pick up on that at all. So, he didn't light up a single second. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to move this stuff up here. And we're going to have the comparator sit here with the transmitter there and the GPS card there. That should be fine. That should work. We can also patch this up just to make it look a little bit better. Pine, grab this, and boom, boom, boom. The roof, once again, looks beautiful. Okay. So now it should work to where we can do multiple energized steel. We currently have 28. I'm going to ask for 10. Let's press start. Let's see what shows up in there. We should only see one set show up at a time. So far, we've seen nothing. Oh, we've seen nothing because it didn't receive the pulse from the first one. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Let's, how can we easily do this? Let's get a button and just give it a pulse to jumpstart it. So do that. Give it a pulse. Right? There we go. It's working again. Let's see if I can take off the button real quick. Okay, we should see another set show up now. Beautiful. And that is because if we come up here, you can see the comparator's working. It's emitting the redstone signal when there's items in there. And then that tells this other guy, once the redstone signal stops and becomes a pulse, because until it stops, it's just a redstone signal. Once it stops, it's then a pulse of redstone signal. So that's being sent over here to this receiver, which is letting him know, yep, you can craft again. And sure enough, he crafts again with the next set. That is beautiful. So now, this is how our roof looks. It looks a little bit neater. How cool is that? And all this stuff's over here. And I mean, our backyard, I mean, it looks horrific. But we could definitely move this, right? We could put it somewhere else. We could hide it under the ground, put it in a different room. We could probably make this look nice as well. I mean, we sort of just slapped it down to see if it would work. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That is very cool to me. It shows you the potential, though. It shows you how you can set stuff up to make things look better. The fact that you can have crafters in a different spot and they work perfectly is awesome to me. Every place that we have a crafter, including these places, these ones are pretty neat, so they're not really needed to be moved, but, you know, we still could. We still could, and then it would just be these guys sitting there. Oh, I wonder as well. Do you think that you can power stuff with the entangled block? I bet you can. I bet you can. We're going to need some more unobtainium blocks processed because we need a little bit more unobtainium. That should be fine, though. Let's slap all these in. Let those process for a bit. Hopefully we'll get another ingot. I want to make another entangled block and see if we can... because a big problem we had... where was it? Over here. Was all of this stuff. It's so messy. Oh my god, we could make this so much neater, couldn't we? Because instead of having to have the input and the output, you can just have the output. Oh, that is awesome. That is actually awesome. So, yeah. Like, up here, it was very difficult for us. We ended up using pedestals to hook up the power for these guys. In theory, we can just have the block linked up to an entangled block and just put power into it. That should work. I don't know why that wouldn't work. Unless it's been a feature that's been disabled. But here we go. We've got quite a few blocks, actually. Let's make ourselves another ender chest. Another entangled block. I'm a big fan of these. How can we test it easily? I kind of don't want to break these ones because it's so annoying setting up the, whatchamacallits, the cables here. What I could do, though, in theory, is break this flux point. Place this guy here, place the flux point here, and hook it up this way. Just to see a proof of concept. So there's now a flux point in here. Does this pedestal get power from it? So far, no. So far, it is not hooked up and provided power. We can see that it... Ooh, is that the problem? It doesn't appear to be lit up the normal color. Let's see. We made this basement pretty big, which is nice. Okay, it just hooked up then. Which almost suggests that it does work, but I don't... Yeah, this is out of power. Let's give it a test. Let's break this cable here. And place another one down just to check. Are we getting any power? No, we are not. I'm not done yet, though. I still have another possible plan. We're going to leave that there. This time, I want to see what happens if I entangle it with this over here, which is our induction port, right? Specifically, the output of our induction port. Let's see. So, pedestals are empty, machines are empty. I right-click. That hooks up with the output. You can see it's provided with power. It has the power there. There's power in the pedestal. There's power not in our machine yet. Okay, I got a little bit too excited, I guess. But the pedestal got power. How did that work? How does the pedestal connect? And the pedestal's like, yeah, this works. But our cables down here don't. Let's break it. Place down another one. Does that work? How mysterious is that? You know what it could be? What if it's only the specific side that's letting power out? It shouldn't let power out the top, though, because this guy isn't connected to the top. I guess maybe it depends on the way I place down the entangled block. That actually could be it. Here, let's see. If I right-click it again. Block bound? Okay. No, it doesn't seem to matter. Okay. Very strange that... Yeah, that these cables... They just don't like it. They don't want to work. Okay. How else could we do it, though? Alright, this time I connected it to, like, a battery, an energy cell. Same sort of issue, where the pedestal's getting power, but this guy over here, he doesn't want to send of it. He's not a fan. So I'm not sure what that's about. Not sure at all. So we'll fix this up. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. I was hoping that we'd figure out how to get it to work, because then we could essentially power these machines. Like, that pedestal could instead be a block, right? It still could work. You know what? Let's try it just real quick. This guy, can he accept power from the left? Side config, energy, input from every side. Beautiful. Okay, now if I shift right click on this, and then right click here, is he accepting the power? He doesn't want it. He still doesn't want it. He's not a fan of it. Okay. Let's hook this back up. Now is he getting power? Yeah, now he's getting power. To be fair, he is using a lot of power. So it is just possible that maybe it couldn't extract enough? I think for now, this is still my coolest discovery. The fact that you can pour liquid or the modium out of your wall like that, with no other setup. I think that's pretty cool. I imagine this showcases the possibility the best, I think, because this seems ridiculous, the fact that you can do this, but it just works. You don't have the entire setup that is required. You need that setup, and yet it's over here, and you don't need it. You don't even need to have any sort of block over here. Like this one still works. It's still functional. If I had the right piece, like if I had another ingot cast, I could show that off. In fact, I can probably click on the blood. It still works. It still works perfectly. I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool. So yeah, I think that's it for now. We've messed around with the entangled blocks. I'm excited to see if other people start using them, how they use them, like how much they use of them, and yeah, the different ways they use them, because I think this is pretty cool. I think definitely having a room with the crafters, being able to see which each one is going to, just by looking at the block itself, you can see it. And being able to configure the recipes that way, instead of having to go to where you've got the actual setup that may have, like, liquids being pumped into it and whatnot. I'm excited to see that. I'm also excited for the next episode, where hopefully, I assume we're going to have enough nether stars. I've got the guy running. He's not doing the best. In fact, why do we have wither honeycomb blocks here? They should be getting processed. Oh, it's because this is still finishing up. We're still getting the unobtainium. It should fill up now, I imagine. Yep, sure enough. There they go. So hopefully we get some wither stars. As for the grass, we'll just, fly off in the distance again and do that. We could try and set up an automated grass gathering system. I don't know how easy that would be to do, but I imagine it's possible. We could get nature essence. That seems a bit boring. You can grow grass. Okay. We might do that then. Maybe. It's still a little bit tricky. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. We'll have to figure it out though. We might end up just having like a, I don't know if you, well, yeah, I guess you can. You can have a dispenser that shears. I don't know if it breaks blocks though. Like, I don't know if you can shear grass. I doubt you can. We'll figure something out. We need a lot of grass though. Worst case, look at how much grass we have here. I can definitely just run around and click it with shears and then if I want the look of this to stay, I can just run around with bone meal again. It's not the end of the world. And then hopefully we can set up that system I wanted to do, which is, are they getting past each other? I think they are. They struggled a little bit, but they seem to be fine. Then we can set up the system where we get 80% chance to get the nugget instead of the current chance, which is horrific. Also, I forgot that the ender bee can teleport away, which means we might lose him because the beacon stops it, but the beacon's over here instead of over there. So, if he disappears, he disappears. We have a lot of ender bees, so it's not the end of the world. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, please do consider subscribing. It helps out my channel quite a bit. And hopefully, I will see you guys in the next one, and hopefully we can get a little bit more of what we plan to do done. But sometimes, we come across other things that I was told about, and it's pretty cool. I'm happy with it. So yeah, goodbye.